Hello everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Mike, I'm the training manager here at Salamander Pumps, and today we're going to talk about TankBoost. We're going to be covering topics such as specification, installation, Cat 5 products, and basically we're going to have a competition run today as well. So it's your chance to win an Aquascan product. So make sure you're listening and you're watching all the way at the end, and you could win one of the Aquascan products. The session's been recorded, so if you want to watch it back later on, we've got your email addresses, so we'll send you the link to do that. And at the end of the session, we're going to have a Q&A slot as well. So if there's any questions that you've got that we haven't covered during the session, feel free to drop the question into the chat box there. So we're talking about TankBoost. So today I'm joined by our R&D manager, Andrew Carver, who's been on board with TankBoost since the concept of the product. So welcome, Andrew.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you for having us.
So what's TankBoost and why we've got this product in our range now?
Okay, so TankBoost is part of the mains booster range that we've got here at Salamander Pumps, and it's for high flow rate applications and where you're trying to boost multiple outlets. So it's for the mains water where you need lots of flow and potentially a good pressure rating for those flow rates as well.
Okay. So should we have a look at the product itself?
Yeah.
We've got one here. We'll bring that across. And what we'll do is we'll just go through and we'll just talk. If you talk me through it,
yeah,
as if I'm an installer and I've just arrived on site and this is in the box.
Okay, so TankBoost is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a tank that boosts your mains water flow. So we've got 4 sizes in the range. This one here happens to be the smallest one, and this is 100 litre. We do 100 litre, we do a 200 litre, a 350 litre, and a 450 litre. And that's the amount of stored water.
So that's your usable capacity of the tank. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So the standard range is 3 bar, and we also have just over the last couple of weeks we've launched the 5 bar version as well. Which goes up to 5 bar and up to 120 litres a minute.
So the 3 bar, that's 3 bar and up to 80 litres a minute.
Correct, yep.
And then a 5 bar up to 120 litres
That's
a minute.
right, yep.
Right, okay. So I think later on we're going to discuss the differences between the 3 bar and the 5 bar, as in when you would need the 5 bar over the 3 bar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So looking at the product, how easy is it to install? So I've just come to site. How complicated is this going to be to fit in an installation?
Okay, so what we've done is we've tried to make it as simple as we can for installers for when they come to fit it on site. So essentially, all you've got is an inlet, which is connected to a ball valve inside the unit.
That's 1/2 inch, isn't it?
That's 1/2 inch brass, yeah. So just standard 1/2 inch would go into there.
Great.
And that's your mains water that goes in.
Yeah.
We've got on the top here, we've got your outlet, which obviously goes to the rest of the house and the rest of the cold water pipes in the house. And then we've got on the back, last connection that you need to make is your overflow, and that's just a standard.
Oh, so it's just a standard overflow outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So basically, in effect, it's a cold water storage tank, a potable water tank.
Yep.
With a pump inside.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm making just to recap, I'm making my connections. I'm getting this.
Yep.
So I've got me inlet at one side.
Yeah.
So I'm supplying the water, filling the tank up, and then I've got to make my outlet connections.
Yeah. Well, what I would advise, a couple of things that we would always advise when you're installing one of these is before you make your outlet connection, is let the tank fill with water first.
Right.
And what that'll do is it just clears any air that's in the pump, and it just stops you getting an airlock in the pump on the first.
So with that outlet, that connection not made, what's happening when I'm filling it up and it's full, I'm purging the pump at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
all the water's just coming out.
So don't rush in there and start connecting it.
You can actually put your pipe work there, but just don't make that final
connection. Right, makes sense.
We've actually got a little reminder on the tank as well. I don't know if people can see that there, and that just when they're shipped from the factory, that just reminds you to do that connection last as well.
So am I making, there's a pressure vessel on here on the back as well. Am I making this connection as well to the pressure vessel?
No, this exactly as you see, this is how it comes from the factory. So it's literally a plug and play device. You've got that inlet connection, your outlet, your overflow. everything else is set up here in the factory before it leaves. So we test them here as well to make sure that they're working.
Yeah.
All the settings that you will need for your site are already pre-programmed. You don't
Right.
need to do anything to the controller, to the rest of the unit. It's just as it should be when it comes to site.
Right.
The only other thing that you need to do is obviously there's a pump there. So you have to make an electrical connection on there. So we've got an 8-meter cable.
Yeah.
So that just gives you a little bit of flexibility. Because
I was going to say there's a lot of cable there, isn't it? But I suppose that makes my job easier on site because it's not always right next to where the supply is, if you like. So I might need to cut that down to size.
So it just gives you that bit of flexibility in case you're not right next to a plug.
Yeah.
What you do need to do though is once you've worked out how long your cable needs to be, you need to cut that cable down to size, because you don't want excess cable, especially coiled down like this, because that can overheat and it can cause issues. Just like with a standard.
So you can use a fuse spur plug, 3-pin plug, with a, what is the ampage size? A 3 amp, 5 amp, or 10 amp? Or?
It's a 5 amp for this one.
Right.
So you just cut your cable, and then, like you say, you make a connection either into a fuse spur, into a plug, and into a socket.
So it's pretty easy, isn't it? Really, it's just, there's not a lot I'm needing to do when I get a site. And when I plugged it in, I put this power supply on. Then I'll obviously just try and
set it away.
Set it away, yeah. Do I have to do anything with the control unit?
All you'll need to do is when you first put power to the unit, you'll see off on the screen here on the control unit. You just press the power button there, and that's it. Away it'll go, and you'll see the unit start up, and it'll try to pressurize the system for you.
Right.
What you'll then need to do is just go around like you would with anything else, and just make sure you get all the air out of the system. Just open the taps.
Brilliant.
And then away you go. One other thing that we would always advise on install when you're doing this, talking about the inlet.
Yeah.
So obviously this is a potable water tank. As we said, we've got NSF Reg 4 regulation, so it can be used for potable water. However, we would always advise best practice, just have a tee off before it goes into the unit. That goes
or like another outlet. So
like your kitchen tap, something like that. So you've always got drinking water that's supplied from the tap rather than the tank. It's just, you can supply it from the tank.
Yeah.
But it's always nice.
I suppose then probably is where they're out in the sticks. If you have any problem with power supply to the unit, you're going to need to still get potable water from an outlet somewhere.
Yeah, so if you do have a power cut, obviously because it's a pumped unit, the pump can't operate without electricity. So it just gives the household and the ability to get drinking water whilst they're there. And again, as installers are probably aware, with any cold water storage tank, there should be some sort of maintenance in place, but householders don't do that. They don't clean it and they don't check it and things. So it's always best practice just to give that that drinking water supply before it goes into the unit. The other thing is obviously when you're siting it, you need to make sure that it's on a steady, stable location.
Right.
So, because they do get quite heavy, obviously they get full of water. So just make
there'll be some weight to it, well, especially on the 450s and 350s as well. Yeah,
so if you think, a 450 litre tank, that's 450 litres of water plus the weight of the tank and the pump.
So because I can install this anywhere, if I'm putting that in the loft space, for example, then I'm going to have to think about the structure and that's up there to support the weight of the unit as well. That's something to think about. Yeah.
And then obviously you need to protect it from extremes of temperature as well. So again, with any cold water storage tank, you don't want to get that water above 20 degrees, ideally.
Yeah, right, okay.
So keep it away from direct sunlight. Wrap it with insulation if you want. Just
the same as you would do in a cold water tank loft, isn't it? Really, as well. Yeah.
Like people are used to installing water storage tanks. So
I'm looking at the size of this one, the size of the one behind you.
Yeah.
There's obviously different sizes. If I've got space for this one, but I'm obviously looking at the size of that one, the size of the property I've got. How do I know if this is the right size to use, or can I fit another tank to this? Can I fit two of these ones to make up that size?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So what you always need to remember is whenever you're sizing one of these, is you've got to make sure that you're turning over that water within a 24-hour period. So you don't want to go too big, because obviously that water's just going to sit there for too long. But on the other hand, you don't want to go too small either, because you're not going to have enough stored water and you're going to run out of water. But to answer your question, yes, you can link tanks together. So we do these pumped units and we do unpumped units as well, which are additional water storage tanks. So in effect, you could almost double.
So that's what this, water is. That what this is for?
Yeah. So when you buy one of the additional storage tanks, they come with a linking kit. So again, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. So all you would do is undo this connection point at the front. And we don't drill it out for you, just because it's if you're not using that as a linking point, it's just an extra leak path. So we leave that.
Right. So I can drill that.
Yep.
And then obviously it comes with all this kit to connect it.
All the connections
just
that you
basically.
need. Yeah.
And the same with the other tank as well.
Same with the other tank. Yeah.
Okay. And then obviously that just connects at the bottom. So I've got 2 tanks.
Yeah.
I'm filling them at the top with 2 cold feeds.
Correct. Yeah.
And then I'm linking the bottom as well. Can I fit this tank with a different size tank? So if I get undersized and I bought the 450, can I just add another 100 in?
Unfortunately, not with these. What you need to do is you need to match the sizes with the additional storage tank. So just because water's always going to try and find the same level, you've got to, just like you would again
with 2 cold tanks in the loft, linking 2 tanks. Yeah.
And I think that's the key here. People shouldn't be too scared of these, because most installers are used to cold water storage tanks and how they work and the do's and don'ts. Same principles apply. Same
principles for the tank. It's just as a pump in here and a control unit on, isn't it? Really. So, it's not
on the additional storage tank, it doesn't have the pump in there. So obviously you've only got 1 pump. You just hold them water in a different way. So rather than vertically, you're holding them horizontally. That's good. Yeah.
I notice that's in the top there, and
so
that usually comes in useful, doesn't it? Just
installation guide. Insulation guide. Installation guide.
I'll have to read that.
So any issues that you do have on site, obviously you can follow that. A couple of other little bits to point out for you as well. So what we try to do is we try to keep the unit as compact as possible when we were designing this, because we want to get as much water in the smallest footprint we could. So there's a few features that we've got. So we mentioned earlier about the pressure vessel. So that's tucked away nicely at the back there. I'll just knock everything off the desk. So if you do need to get access to the pressure vessel just to check the pre-charge or whatever,
just lift out.
You shouldn't need to on site when you install it, because it comes ready preset.
Right.
So that just lifts out and you've got access to it there. And then when you're done, I just drop it back in.
It just looks tighter, doesn't it? Rather than having something on the side. And say for space wise, I want to get that as compact in the space I've got without bulky things on top of it as well.
A couple of other little features as well that we've included in there. So you might notice on the back here, we've got a little cutout again. If you're tight on space, you can put this flush against the wall and you've got space to run other pipe work.
Pipe work underneath your skirt and stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah. So you can go as flush to the wall as possible. So that's the main features on the unit there.
Brilliant. So I've got a job to look at. And I'm seeing all these different sizes. I'm thinking about the size of the property, and you've made the product really easy to install. Like I said, there's 3 connections basically I'm making. The guide's there for commissioning it properly, and I'm plugging it in, I'm away. How do I know, based on the property I'm going to, what size unit I need?
Okay, so because they all have, if you've got a 3-bar
TankBoost,
they all have the same tank, the same pump, in them.
Right.
And here's one we brought up earlier. So this is the pump that's inside there. So it's a fully stainless steel pump.
Right.
RAS-approved pump. It's got stainless steel impellers and stainless steel diffusers. So high quality pump in there. But it's the same pump in the 100 litre, the 200, the 350, and the 450.
Right. Okay.
So you get the same performance out of all the units. The difference is the stored water. And therefore how long it will last.
Right. That's the key, isn't it? Really. They all give the same performance, but my worry is going to be getting the storage water capacity correct, so that it's not running dry, or like you said before, I'm not holding more than I'm going to use and get stagnation and things like that. Right. Okay.
So to be honest, that is the biggest issue that installers find, or the biggest thing that they're scared of when they're trying to spec one of these. So what we try to do is make that as easy as possible for them.
Right.
And we've got a little selection tool, and should we jump on there?
Yeah, so let's move this out the way.
So like we say, this is trying to make it as easy as possible for people to install it. So we'll do a little live demo here, shall we? And if we share our screen, we can go onto the Salamander Pumps website. So hopefully you can see that that's our home page there.
Right.
If you want to follow along at home and kind of go through this with us, you can.
That would be a good idea. Yeah, if you've got access to it, it might be just handy seeing where it is on the home page, and then going through and copy what we're doing hopefully you get the same results as us as well. So I'm looking for.
So if we go to our products,
Yeah.
and then down to product selector.
All right.
That's it. Now, this product selector isn't just for TankBoost. It actually works for all the products that we've got, both in our gravity booster range and our mains booster range. Obviously, depending on what options you select, it will obviously take you to the right product, etc. So
it's kind of with the product range, it's asking what kind of system you've got there. So I'm guessing if I've got a gravity fed system, it's going to have that range of pumps, and it's going to try and whittle them down to 1 or 2 products based on what I'm putting in. That's really good. Yeah.
So we're obviously going to be looking at the mains booster and the tank boost. So we've got a few kind of scenarios, or a scenario that we'll put in, and we'll see.
Right.
See how it works. So we're going to pretend that our property has got an unvented cylinder. So it's an unvented system. So we just click on that.
Yeah.
And then what do we want to boost? So we're wanting to boost the whole property. So if we click on the whole house, and then all we need to do now is we need to put in a few details about our property. Now this can be a little bit daunting for some homeowners, or but for installers it should be relatively straightforward to be able to get this information.
It's things that I'll be doing anyway, isn't it? Really, with someone's house.
Yeah, to make sure
checking income flow rates, checking pressures.
Yeah.
And I can see there's a little information symbol. So I'm guessing, I'm not clicking it yet, but I'm guessing when I click on that, it tells me how to do or where to check these from as well. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who say, well, why do you need to know this information? Well, the reason that we need to know this information is because obviously we're not just talking about TankBoost here. This is designed to help you get the best product for your particular application. And it might be that actually TankBoost isn't the best product for your application. It could be one of our other products is, and this is how it'll whittle the selection down.
So it's not trying to force a product.
Absolutely.
Based on what I've got, it's going to choose the product that year. It's more suitable for that, what you're putting in, right?
So natural income and flow rate. So this can be done, we'd advise on a non-restrictive outlet, so something like a garden tap, something like that, you can obviously use a flow cup for that. Incidentally, all of these options that we're trying to find on this page here, you can all find those with an Aquascan.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why we brought Aquascan to the market as well. Which
because you're doing all these anyway. Like I say, it's just the Aquascan will do all this at the same time as well.
Absolutely. All in one unit. So let's kind of put some details in. So let's pretend our on the property that we're at, we've got a natural income and flow rate of 10 litres per minute. So we'll just tap in there and put in 10. So again, our incoming main static pressure, let's just say it's 2 bar. Now I know that can be fairly standard around here. Other places it can be lower than that. And what that does is, again, it just kind of, it narrows down some of the options that the products that we could offer from our range for that. So let's go with 2 bar. Number of floors, including ground floors. So what this is if you've got a basement, or as well, you can include that and kind of count that as one floor if you're going to install your TankBoost. And
I'm guessing the number of floors is important because I'm going to see how much pressure and everything I'm losing as I go up every floor in the house.
Absolutely, So what this product selector does as we get through there, it'll give you a bit of an indication as to what to expect from each product as well.
When
we get there.
So how big is your house? Let's have a look.
So let's just pretend it's a three floor.
3-floored.
Go on then. Put 3 in there.
And
then totally dissolved solids. So this just gives you a bit of an indication of how hard your water is. So again, it depends on the where you are in the country as to what you'll see. Typically up here where we are in the northeast, it tends to be quite soft,
isn't it?
But further down south in the little pockets, it can be quite hard. So let's just assume that we're in a relatively hard area, and we'll put 300 ppm in there. So that's our 4 bits of information about the system.
And it's in there if no one. So it doesn't matter if I haven't got the total dissolved solids. I know my flow rate, I know my static pressure, I know how big the property is, how many floors. So now it's gonna there's other them details. So where do we go now?
If you click next now, So now what we need to do is we now need to tell the selector what we're going to be using it for. Now, where people go wrong with the product selector is what they do is they'll put in every single outlet or shower that's in the property.
Yeah.
What we're actually asking for here is what are people likely to use at the same time?
Right. So how many times you're going to flush the toilet while someone's having a shower, while someone's washing the dishes downstairs?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
you might have a three bathroom house.
Yeah.
But if there's only one person living there or two people living there,
yeah, you're not going to use 3 showers.
it's pretty unlikely you're going to use all 3 showers at the same time. You might get the odd occasion, but we're asking for a typical day.
Right. Okay.
So in our scenario, let's just pretend that we've got a bathroom with a drench shower.
Drench head shower.
Yeah. So they've got
one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. One of those.
Yeah.
And then on the right hand side, we put in how many minutes.
During run times. That's how long I've got that shower on. How many minutes?
So let's just pretend somebody's using that for 10 minutes. It's quite a long shower in there.
Okay.
And then they've got an ensuite as well in this property, which has an electric shower. So
that
if
was
we
at
go
the
to
top, wasn't it? Yeah. So electric shower.
But yeah, you'll notice it gives a little indication of what the flow rates might be for each of those. So that's just a bit of a sense check as well.
Right. Okay.
For when you're putting those in, because obviously if you've got a drench head shower, it's going to use a hell of a lot more water than if you've got a little electric shower.
Yeah.
So let's just say that the person in there it's just a 5-minute overlap.
Okay.
While they're in the shower. So we've got one person using the drench head shower and one person using the electric shower.
Yeah.
Now this family, they have children as well. Now, what always happens is when you're in the shower, one of them will go to the toilet in the little downstairs toilet. So let's put a toilet flush in there, shall we?
Yeah. Toilet flush there. One of those.
And then let's hope that they're going to wash their hands afterwards as well. So let's put the hand basin in there. So that will take that into account as well. And I think that's a fairly typical scenario for this particular family, that because the 2 parents are getting ready for work or getting ready for school, 2 kids are getting ready for school at the same time.
So again, just to say at the start, it's for any outlets used at the same time.
Yes.
So I'm not counting everything up and saying I've got 3 electric showers and 2 thermostatic showers of 15 liters a minute. Therefore, that's everything I've got. That's why I'm going to get it wrong when I size the tank. Right.
So what will happen is if you do that, you'll it'll say that you need a much bigger size tank than you actually need.
Right. Okay.
And then obviously water will sit stagnant, it won't get used, and etc.
And it's a cost thing as well, isn't it? I'm buying a bigger unit than what I need. That's like,
you're not going to be able to
try and get it right from the installation side. So I've got all that in. I'm guessing next again.
Yeah, click on the next, and then that'll take us. Then it gives us results
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we scroll down,
here
we go. This is what it's saying. So it's got 3 products there.
Yeah.
And if we just scroll along this bottom bar here.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've got suggested product.
Yeah. So that's the one basically I need, isn't it? Yeah.
That's the one that's suggesting is best for what we put in that scenario. But what it does is it gives you some other options potentially as well.
Right.
So because we've just launched the 5-bar range, unfortunately at the moment it's only got the 3-bar option on here, but it will be coming very, very soon. If anybody does feel that they need the 5-bar one, feel free to get in touch with the tech team here at Salamander.
They've got all the information on this, so emails, web chats and things like that. You can get in touch with them for the 5-bar information. But at the minute, it's just the 3-bar, isn't it?
So the top one that was recommending was the TankBoost 350. So the maximum pressure you're going to get from that is 3-bar.
3-bar.
Maximum flow rate we can get is 8 litres a minute.
Yeah.
The stored volume of water there, 350 litres. It gives you an idea of the size of the product, and then it'll give you an idea of what to expect in terms of pressure. Now, this is only an indication because obviously it depends on your system.
Depends how big the ceilings are as well.
Absolutely,
it's a good rule of thumb, I suppose, isn't it? This is what I expect.
Just give you an indication what to expect. So on the ground floor, if the TankBoost is installed on the ground floor, at those kind of flow rates, you're going to see about 2.2 bar on the ground floor. And as you go, obviously you're going to lose a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, just every floor you go up, every meter you go up, you're going to lose a little more.
And then,
so I've got 350 there. So that's saying it's the most suitable or suggested products, the 350. So I've got a 450 there as well, and then I've got 2 200s. I've got a pumped one, and then an additional tank. Like we said at the start, one's a pump, one's a stored water. So that's giving us a little bit more than what I've seen I need on there as well.
So if you look, we've got, because they're the same pump, you've got the
Yeah.
same pressure, you've got the same flow rate, you've got more stored water.
Yeah.
Obviously different product sizes, and then your pressures are the same because it's the same
Okay.
product. Now, if you notice on the 450 and the 200 plus the 200,
Yeah.
it's giving you some suitable with considerations. If you click on that red little icon, so what it's saying there, it gives you a little consideration to think about. So please note, this product has a high stored water volume. If not fully replenished in 24-hour period, it poses a risk of bacteria.
Right.
Just like we said earlier on.
Yeah. So based on what I've got and what I've put in, it's in 350. But what I might want to do is think, well, I might be in the process of adding another shower, so it's giving us a kind of heads up.
Yeah.
There's a bit more available,
Absolutely.
as well, isn't there?
There's a couple of other little things on here. So if we just close that down, if we scroll down, it gives us a couple of little what we call kind of sense checks as an installer for us to think about when we're looking at this. So it's saying here that the total amount of water that we needed for what we put in, both the hot and the cold, is 309 litres.
Okay.
So with a 350 tank boost,
as close to
that's,
that as you
that's
can
what
get.
we've got. Yeah. So you could go that little bit more if you wanted, but obviously you've got to take into consideration are they likely to
Use it through. Right.
Then you've got the total flow rate required. Now this is important here because this is going to be impacted by the pipe work that comes out from your tank boost.
Right. Okay.
So this is saying that we've got 44 litres a minute that we need to come out of our tank boost to supply both the hot side and the cold side.
Right. Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you've got 15 mil pipe coming out of your tank boost, you might struggle to get,
because you're hitting restrictions straight away, aren't you? So you've got, as we're saying, 28 off the top. 22 and then 15 towards the outlets, because if you come off from 15, like anything, you're going to restrict the flow. So give it its best fighting chance, if you like.
Bigger pipe size as you can when you come off. Again, this is something that people sometimes forget about, and they'll say, well, they'll get a call and say, well, I'm not getting the flow that I expected. And
I'm not getting the 80 as a minute out of the shower. That's designed to give less than that.
The pipe work's just not up to the job, really. So it's just a sense check for you to something to think about in the property. Next one down is the total amount of hot water required in litres. So this is saying, now this works on the sort of the 60-40 rule.
Right, because we said we had an unvented cylinder in there, didn't we?
Right, okay. So we're going to need roughly 154 litres of stored hot water. Again, this is a bit of a sense check for the installer to kind of say, right, have I got an unvented that's capable of that? Because what you don't want to do is have the customer say, well, I want to run this shower, this shower, this shower, this shower, and this. And then you've only got a really small unvented cylinder that can't actually keep up with that demand. You might be able to supply the.
But it's prompting us to go and check them questions and find out the information that I probably might forget about and just think, it's a customer's not going to know, so they've seen something they like and they can afford the price of that size, and it's me doing all the checks and all the background. And that's a prompt to say, have you checked this? Have you considered that? So it's really good for the installer. That
and then again, the next one down is total hot water flow rate required. Now again, this is just to ensure that your pipe work out of your unvented cylinder is sized correctly again. We've got a little prompt on the right hand side there, so it obviously again depends on your plumbing system. So we were okay because we said we had an unvented cylinder, so 18 litres a minute from an unvented cylinder isn't really an issue. If we'd have selected a combi boiler, obviously depending on the kilowatt rating of your combi boiler, you'd probably struggle to get that on many.
Again, it's a good thing to mention there when I'm thinking about considering what unit to get. So using that specification tool before I go out and buy it, and not just think, right, that's the one the customer can afford, that's the size I want. It's all these checks about how much stored water do I need, and then considerations of what I've got. If I've got a combi boiler, I've got an unvented, how many floors am I pumping to, what size of the pipe work, all these come into to that selection.
It's all about setting the customer's expectations. So just because you did have a combi boiler, that doesn't mean that this product isn't suitable. It just means that they might not quite get the full performance that the unit can give. But as long as the customer's okay with that and you've made them aware of that, then that's
you've done your job, haven't you?
Absolutely.
That's good.
So that's quite a useful tool we've got there. The only other thing that it does just at the bottom there, because we put in the fact that we had quite hard water with 300 parts per million on our TDS, it's recommended that we put a catalytic water conditioner in there. Now, we've got a range of catalytic water
Conditioners,
conditioners. Now, the smallest one that we do, funnily enough, fits directly onto the inlet.
Yeah, half-inch.
Half-inch fitting onto a TankBoost tank. So one of those would condition your water.
Right. So you're not putting bigger water conditioners. If you're feeding that, you can put it in line to where it is a kind of add-on to the customer. Like you're saying, the customer is going to ask, well, you're going to tell the customer in the hot water area, using something like the Aquascan, you're going to prove how hot that water is. And then by putting the conditioner on, you're not going to get any lime scale problems with the pump and stuff. And is that all right with stored water as well? Yeah.
Yeah. So this, obviously, you're meant to turn over your stored water every 24 hours.
Yeah.
But this will condition the water for way longer.
Right. Brilliant.
I mean, you look at it potentially months.
Yeah. So things like, I've seen the accessories that we had, the linking kit, the drain off point at the bottom. That's where I was connecting that. So the drain off, I've seen that on the website as well. So you can fit a drain off point. As an accessory, when I'm installing, thinking about installation, if I'm a hot water area, I've got a water conditioner that comes into it as well.
Yeah. So we've got lots of accessories, which can help installers. It's almost like a one-stop shop, really. You know, everything that you need to install that you can get from Salamander. Now, if your merchant doesn't have them in stock, you can go onto our web shop and get them on our web shop. So if we do you want to navigate onto
so where are we? Accessories shop.
Yeah. So again, this here has all the accessories that you might need for our products. So on our mains booster accessory range, so you can see there, if we scroll down a bit, we've got
our
TankBoost fitness kit.
Yes, that's everything, isn't it? There's a drain off there.
So that one's got everything. We've got jackets. So again, like we were saying about protecting from extremes of temperature. These jackets are designed to fit exactly around the tanks and size correctly for those.
So it's a good problem specification on the website. I'm thinking about putting the TankBoost in as an installer. It'll help us choose the size of the tank I want. The installation guides and documents all on there as well, and then all the add-ons to make my life easier. If I have to come back and drain it down or anything like that, it's kind of like it's all in one place, isn't it? It's really good. Brilliant.
Okay, so we mentioned about the standard range is 3 bar.
Yeah.
So we've, like I said earlier, we've just launched in the summer a 5 bar version of this, and essentially it's the same range. So if you look at them physically, they don't look any different.
Right.
You've got
the same size, same 100, 200, 350, 450.
We don't do the 100 in the purely because the higher flow rates.
Right. Okay.
So it's the 200, 350, and the 450 in the 5 bar.
Okay.
So again, we get quite a lot of people that say, well, what's the point in having the 5 bar? Because typically unvented cylinders are, regulated down to 3 bar. But it depends on your scenario. There are scenarios where you might actually benefit from a 5 bar pump.
So, bigger properties?
Yeah, bigger properties where you've got really high flow rates. So obviously, if you've got a high flow rate coming from the TankBoost, your pressure will potentially go down as your flow rate increases, just like any pump.
So if I'm starting off with 3, and by the time I get up all those floors or that long run of pipe work, that's slowly dropping off.
Yeah.
If I start off with a 5 bar, then I'm going to achieve more as I go up the floors.
Yeah. So you've got that
bigger properties,
a little bit more headroom. So as it goes into the pressure reducing valve of the unvented cylinder, you know that you're going to get 3 bar going in there and then 3 bar coming out.
As I'm starting off with a 5 bar.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So some examples where we've seen that used are things where you've got really high floors. So all properties, for example, where you've got really high ceilings, really high or long pipe runs as well. So it just gives you that little bit of extra pressure
to achieve what you're expecting for your customer.
And then another example where we've seen the 5 bar used was a rugby club.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking banks of showers, so like everything being used at the same time. So it's not just your normal domestic. A couple of showers were the ones I'm thinking. Everyone like I say, rugby or something like that, everyone hitting the showers at the same time. So there's got to be stored water.
Yeah. So in that example, they had a few unvented cylinders to handle that and things. Now, obviously, our product selector on the website, that's mainly aimed at the domestic side of things.
Yeah.
But if you're struggling with anything, get in touch with us. Ring the tech team here at Salamander, and they'll help you walk you through.
You just walk through technically what that specification is doing. So you go through that, and if it's a 5 bar, they'll suggest that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask a question? So I'm just thinking there. So I've got a control unit on there with some fancy buttons on.
Yeah.
If I've bought a 3 bar, can I convert that to a 5 bar?
Unfortunately, not.
You have to change the settings on it and make it in a 5 bar.
Just changing the settings won't change it into a 5 bar, because it is a completely different pump that we put in there. So it's
pump,
different settings and etc. and different pump and different configuration on it. So
I'll stay away from the control unit.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's try and get it right in the first instance. Which is why we've got these tools to try and help you. It can be quite daunting, I think, especially if you're not used to sort of doing it, or you don't do it very.
Don't do it. Yeah, if you're not doing it all the time, it's not going to be something that you automatically think about. All these little questions that we're asking in that specification might be not something I'm doing every day. So having that prompt there on the website is a really good idea for installers.
On the product selector on the website there as well, there's actually a little download button that you mentioned, and if you just click on that, the products that it suggested, it will.
So everything's on there, because I'm useless with keeping paperwork to hand. But I was just saying there's a couple of, I think I've covered that with the drain down. There's a few questions there about draining down, but we'll answer some more questions at the end. So what was this, the difference? I noticed when I was looking at these ones, this one at the end has got little, what look like little handles at the side.
Right. This one. Yeah. So this version, this is a Cat 5 version. So we do Cat 5 versions of all the variants. So the 100, 200, 300, 450.
Right.
And then obviously the 3 bar and then 5 bar without the 100 litre.
Okay.
And these are for areas where you're more likely to encounter
the Cat 5 fluids, and like so like your butchers,
so
anyway, there's blood, piss, shit, some kind of environments where that kind of stuff.
So we've seen them used in dog grooming parlours, for example. Somebody installed one in there. We've seen one for washing down bins, in a residential block,
because you've got that fluid type Cat 5 fluid. It's dangerous. Obviously, you don't want to get that back or cycling back into the mains, back cycling into the mains. So there's, apart from what's obvious on there, you got this is your weir overflow. Is anything else that's different internally? Is the pump different or anything like that? Or?
Pump's exactly the same. The only difference is the ball valve that's in there, and it just gives you a little bit more of an air gap.
Right. So it's a different shape, creating a different gap.
Now, obviously, in most domestic situations, you won't need a Cat 5 variant. What you do need to consider when you're placing a Cat 5 is location, because obviously you've got these.
Because the other overflow goes out the back normally, doesn't it? So that's coming straight out the side.
So this is designed so all the water will just flow out of the side. If there's an issue, so it doesn't.
There's no risk to the main supply.
So just be careful when you're sighting those. Obviously, you don't want to put them right above an electric. Anything like that,
So location-wise, it's usually going to be some kind of a ground floor kind of place where it's going to have.
Or it's more of an semi-commercial, industrial type set.
That's considered as well.
So that they are available.
And it's available in all the same sizes. You got the 3 bar, you got the 5 bar, obviously without the 100 for the 5 bar.
All of them have the Cat 5 option, even the additional storage tanks as well. If you want a Cat 5 additional storage tank, you can get those as a Cat 5 version too as well.
I think we've answered some of the questions on the screen. I'm just been chatting that one. I'm trying to see the questions there. I think we've covered the drain down with the drain off. Any questions from you guys watching? Is there anything we haven't covered that you really want us to explain, or anything at all about the TankBoost 3 bar, 5 bar, about Cat 5, about the accessories, about the website? Is think Richard's typing, so
Yeah.
so
So in terms of draining down the unit, obviously we've mentioned you can put the drain off in the bottom there. The other way is you could pump the water out using the pump if you needed to. If you needed to do any maintenance,
just open a bath tap and let it flow into the bath, empty the tap,
close the inlet so obviously it doesn't fill back up.
Yeah.
I've seen people use almost like a siphon to empty the water out as well. I've seen people, depending on how full it is, just use a wet back in to get
empty it
out,
out.
little bits out. So what else we've got? Richard's sent something through.
This configuration.
Right. So in terms of we put 2 bar, so that was the properties incoming pressure. Now obviously because this is effectively a brake tank, a cold water storage tank, what then takes over is the pressure from the TankBoost. Now obviously yes, it went down to 2.2 bar, but that was at the high flow rate. In our scenario, there was no way with our 10 litres a minute that it could run all of those showers. So
because you've got all them outlets open at the same time,
so the natural mains wouldn't be at 2 bar. That was the static pressure of the mains. Obviously, when there's the flow rate, that will drop down because it becomes a dynamic pressure. So that's why TankBoost works in that scenario. So hopefully, Richard, that's answered your question. I don't know if we've got any other questions come through.
There was a competition we mentioned at the start as well. So if you guys have been listening, there was, when we used the product selector, an answer that came out as the suggested product. So if anyone can remember what that was, if you want to put that in the chat now, this is your chance to win an Aquascan, which is going to do everything we've been asking you to do, as in checking flows, checking pressures, checking TDS readings. It does check temperature as well. So Aquascan is the tool, if you like, the buddy tool for the engineer going out, and it's your chance to win. So do I have, I think we've got one straight away from, it's Richard. Let's scroll back up Richard, there. I think Richard Donald, 350. Spot on, straight in there, Richard. So what we're going to do, we've got your email address, we've got your details when you signed on. So what we're going to do is we're going to get brand new Aquascans sent out to you. Feel free to put your feedback and your comments when you're using it, or tag, hashtag, and link us to your socials if you've got your socials on when you're using the product, and let us know what you think about it. But congratulations, we'll get that sent out to you.
Fantastic.
I think everyone else has got the right answer, just a little bit slower than Richard. So well done, everyone. Obviously, it means that you're listening. I hope you've enjoyed the webinar. I hope we've covered as much as what you want us to cover.
Just before we do this, there was one other question I noticed that came up that someone had put in there, and they said, will it come to the point where one pump will just suit all? Potentially, yes, but obviously because of the improved performance, there's a slight cost increase on the 5 bar compared to the 3 bar. So what we're trying to do is just make it give you the best solution for your install, because there may be scenarios where actually 5 bar is way more than you need. So that's why we're trying to kind of give people the options of
that's a good question. Actually,
and I don't think we've had any
that we haven't answered. No. To be fair, what you can do is, if you've got questions that we've missed any of them, then feel free just to drop them to our socials, or we'll have a list of the questions after the session. We'll be able to go through the questions. We've got your email addresses, so we'll come back to you if that's okay as well. So
just one quick one through there from Brian Goodman. So as the tank program on display. So the TankBoost unit does have on the control unit, it has got a display. Excuse me. What that will show is it will show either the current pressure that it's delivering when it's running, or you can set it to show the current that it's running. And that's just a little button press that you can do there.
So it's a little LED display, so it's going to show pressure on, off, and
but you shouldn't need to do any programming on it. Like we said earlier on, when it's delivered to you straight out the box, everything will be set ready to just go. You'll just plug and play and get it going.
And just for everyone that entered that competition that didn't win, We are running a promotion on TankBoost as well at the moment until the end of October. So it's your chance to win a £500 holiday voucher. So when you're buying a TankBoost, you'll find a scratch card inside. Give that scratch off, and if you look at it, win. There's different things. There's, like I say, a £500 holiday voucher, but there's other merchandise as well. So give that scratch off when you get it, and then get in touch, and we'll send you a prize out as well.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else.
That's everything. Yeah. Again, thank you very much. When we finish recording tonight, the recording, sorry, will be ready and available, and we'll send that to you via the email address as a link, so you can watch it over. And again, if there's any questions, and as well from you guys that are watching, thank you very much. For our next webinar, we'd love some suggestions of what you want us to cover in the next webinar. So get in touch with that as well.
Yep.
Thanks very much, Andrew.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you very much.